Yoga Beginnings, LOCO'Motion with ANNETTE KINSHIP, Segment 3, Fitness and You. This will be a review and a little bit more info. Keeping in mind, what do you want? I realize you may be wanting more workout by now. Even so, we are going to take it slowly. I have been instructing for 42 years. I want to be sure you understand the basics, as we will be working into my name brand, which is to work like a locomotive train into your workout. Local motion, or locally in motion. Local motion, locally in motion within a state of being that causes you to feel graceful and yet powerful as you work out. It is to captivate your inner joy and express it from within. It is a sheer motivation energized by you to begin where you are at, not in the competition world. I have started a community of sheer motivation energized on Facebook, and I'll tell you more about that later. I intend to provide fun using music from different eras and genres. How I intend to be instructing will be like this. If you are beginning your day, I will start out slow and move into tough challenges and then speed you up to help you stay peppy. If you are ending your day and you were hyped up, I will challenge you from the hype with an aerobic style to slowing down and become at rest. Hopefully this will give you the opportunity to express yourself, the beauty of who you are. So as we begin this review, it's just going to be little clips and little longer clips of a bunch of different things I recorded, and to help you review what you already heard maybe from the first two. And if you haven't listened to the first two, please go back and listen to the first two. And you might even listen to the first three again before you move on to our destination of really living into the local motion of working out and exercise, or keeping the body active for you, so that we can keep an upright body. Here's Jade, our dog. She does downward dog every morning, and then upward dog and comes running over to us. Here we have a great day to be looking at. Gorgeous tree up here, and just want you to see the presents. We have our nice Florida November weather swooning in on us. We're going to talk about yoga fitness. We're going to talk about aerobics, tone and conditioning, Pilates, whatever you want to call it. Today I'm going to focus on just sharing with you my heart, my love for the body, for the mind, the heart, and the spirit, and for us working together to cause homeostasis in our life. We have some videos we've started, some test videos about some food. I've spent a lot of time trying to learn how to better eat. I know we're all working on that. I just want to share today openly of who I am and who we are. Mark and I are a team. He's doing the camera right now. And I want to be candid with you and straight up. In 40 years I've been teaching fitness. I've been teaching nutrition. I've been teaching a lot of things that I took on for myself and other people wanted to know about. So what we're doing today is just introducing ourselves in this beautiful weather. We got the wind blowing, and I'm not the weight that I love to be at. I'm not in the perfect physical health that I want to be at, but I'm going to work on that as I teach. I've been waiting to get there before I teach, and it hasn't happened yet. So I think that I'll get motivated by motivating you. Today, I just want to talk about the introduction of the yoga. I teach yoga and Pilates. I've been teaching since I was 19 years old, in clubs or out of my home or in karate studios, different places all over
you know, I've lived in New York, I was raised there, been living in Florida, different parts of Florida. I want to bring something that maybe you aren't getting somewhere else, but either way, or meet the people that want what I have. I am interested in teaching arts and crafts and many, many other things too, just because I've done it, and I might as well be here to share those thoughts with the new young mothers and people my own age, and just how to stay healthy, be healthy, maintain health, become healthy, regenerate our lives, be strong, able, and we all have things that come into our lives. We all have issues, we all have traumas, we all have life that happens to us. Sweet things, loving things, horrible things, good things, bad things, you know, the good, bad, and the ugly are all there in our lives. Some of us have, you know, maybe more difficult lives than someone else, but then, you know, what is difficult, whether we're wealthy or not wealthy, what is difficult? It's relative, really. It's all relative. So I'm just going to start these videos. I want to teach what I know, and I want to gift what I know and be what I can be to anybody, since we have this amazing World Wide Web that we can talk to each other. And I'm just going to talk to you as if you're right here with me, as if I'm in a teaching a class when I teach a class, whatever it might be, art class, yoga, tone and conditioning. Since we're here on the subject of fitness and I've got my yoga mats and my blocks out, let's just talk about, obviously we have hinges, right? Our joints, all of our joints, our arm and shoulder joints, our elbow, our knees, our hip joints. All of those are at risk, if we don't take care of ourselves, of not functioning properly. In the classes that I hope to share with you and to teach to you, and hopefully I will lose the weight that I want to lose while I'm talking to you, and get on a better diet and get out there and ride my bike more. Hopefully I do that, and that works for you. So let's just talk about what I would be talking about, so that maybe I can create and generate your interest. Here I have my shoulder joint, my elbow joint. They just kind of there, and then I've got my wrist and my fingers, right? This is just one piece of my body that needs to stay fit. Synovial fluid, which is the oil that comes in and lubricates the joints, will not get there if you don't move them.
Let's take a look at joints for a minute. There's value in knowledge, and visual helps us to work a plan. When we're talking about yoga, fitness, stretch, strengthen, if we see the joints, it might be easier to understand what might be binding and what might be holding up or keeping us from having freedom of movement. So also, so that when you are doing the work, you can see what you might need to do to allow for change. The body is complex, yet very simple if we see it mechanically. In the first slide, we had an elbow joint and a shoulder joint, and if you want to go back and look at it more carefully, you'll see all the different things involved. As each thing is attached to different parts, we can see that if we keep mobile, those muscles and the ligaments will have flexibility, but the less we move, as I was saying in the former video, the less movement we're going to want to do, because it will stiffen up and the brain won't be getting the message to produce and send more synovial fluid, basically the oil of the joints. Here we have your ankles and your toes. Understanding your ankles and your toes are very important because we use them so much and we're on them, we're walking on them. So the more you keep those ankles flexible and all that muscle tissue around it and ligaments, the fewer issues you might have, even though we're on them all the time. And now we have the knee and the hip joints. protecting the bones and the cartilage has a lot to do not only with our diet and our atmosphere and the different things, but with our movement. The muscle lengthening has to be organized and it has to be equal on both sides, or you'll have different pulling on one side or the other, such as on the vertebrae or on the knee. If one joint is being sore, and it might be because of muscle from the hip bone to the knee bone, because the one muscle and ligament attaches to both. If it's tight or if it gets shortened, and then it's going to be pulling, say, on the hip joint or on the knee joint, and therefore attached to the spinal cord and spinal area. All of that working together, if it doesn't stay mobile, if you don't keep things lengthened or equal on each side, then you might end up with lopsided body structure, bone structure, muscles pulling, and then we get soreness, let alone long time issues if it stays that way. Here now we have our neck connected to the vertebrae or the backbone and the muscles, the spine with the muscles all attaching it all together and holding the shoulders on and holding the neck on and holding the head on and all the vertebrae together so that they will move properly. And again, when one side or the other is the muscles get too short from a habitual way of standing or sitting or working or doing things, and one side of the muscles gets shortened and the other side gets lengthened from the other side being shortened, all of a sudden you're going to have this pulling on the bone structure that changes things and also then can pinch nerves. Let's go back and enjoy the out of doors again.
So we're talking about hinges. We have our hinges, right? Let's go into that. The moving of the joint tells the body or the hormone system to send synovial fluid to the joint. The less you move it, the less oil it gets. So if it's not getting oil, then you're not going to want to move it because it's going to be stiff, like a U-joint or something on a car, or anything that has movement needs to keep lubricated, right? So here it is. If we move this, even if we just keep it moving without doing the full poses and exercises and et cetera, the objective is to keep moving. So here I've got my knee, and if I keep moving, say I'm doing dishes, or maybe you don't do dishes, but you know, you're sitting in your chair. Instead of just sitting in your chair at the computer, shift your leg, shift it, and move it again, and move the other leg, and then rotate your shoulders. We have to keep moving to get that synovial fluid involved into the joints so they want to move. Then if they're not willing to move, or if they don't want to move, they're going to hurt. They're going to be sore. They're going to be painful, and then you're not going to want to move them. So you got to keep them moving, and if you're already sore and they're already stiff, you just got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere so that the brain tells the hormone system, that tells the nerve system, that tells everything to go in and send that synovial fluid into the joints. That's just one thing that we have to pay attention to, but that's kind of a simple one, because you can be riding in a car, driving with somebody, and turn your head back and forth and keep that part of the body moving. We can go up and down with it. Yoga is, in essence, it's a strengthening, lengthening, and conditioning exercise. We don't have to do the full-blown yoga, all the details of being on our hands and on our head, or doing arabesque, I think they're called, or whatever, you know, in dance classes. We don't have to be doing that. Yoga, the idea, the objective of it is to be intentional. Any fitness is to be intentional. But with yoga, it's to be intentional and that you line yourself up. You're thinking of the joint, you're thinking of the muscle work, you're thinking of stretching and lengthening muscles so that the joint can move freely. We want to be able to move freely, not only with the synovial fluid getting in there, but for the fascia tissue and the muscles and the ligaments and everything to be willing to move. The less we move it, the less we're gonna want to move it, because it's gonna hurt if you leave it alone too long. Just come with me. We'll do little bits at a time. I'm gonna teach senior classes. I'm gonna teach how to work from a walker with a cane, how to still get some exercise in. I'm going to put a videotape up on where my father was 87 years old and sitting in his chair doing weights in his wrist and bragging about it to me, because he knows I'm a fitness instructor and he wanted me to get that he cared and that he understood it. So let's work with you. I don't care if you're 12, 10, or if you're 110. What the goal here is for me to inspire you, to help you, no matter what age you are, to want to keep that body rolling so you can go see people and be with people, or just enjoy your own company because you're not in pain, getting up and getting down and moving around so that you can function so wonderfully. So this is just an introduction to who I am and what Mark and I hope to be able to bring to you, and this is just a piece of it. Educate you with where we've been educated, where I've been educated in fitness. I just want to bring it to you. I am happy to be here with you and hope you will enjoy and take the risk to come with me and to do things with us and try it. All right? So, till we meet again with some real, genuine exercises that might be 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour and a half long. You pick what you want to join in on. I will try to have live classes where you can join in on during the week, but there are going to be pre-recorded classes and pre-recorded, just like I said, the 5-minute things to just understand what you're doing, even if it's just lifting the arm up. We're going to do just a couple things. What's happening when I lift my arm up? And if I just kind of lift it like this, it's still moving, but if I take it and I work it and I shimmy it and I shift it around and I make that joint stretch and lengthen, and I work my fingertips, and I just do this once a week, 10 times a week, whatever you can get yourself to do, to unlock the bone structure, to release the muscle tension, to lift out energy through your fingertips that take in energy and give you more life. Till then. Cheerio, champs.
This is Yoga Beginnings with LOCO'Motion. Thank you for joining me, Annette. Please like and subscribe if you would like to hear about the next videos as they are put up. Nava